Speaking of people breaking out of the APC now, one of the probably the most open secrets or the worst held secret in the world was that of Senator Dino Melaye, who characteristically put up a video on social media, I think a day or two ago, where he was in his usual element, singing and dancing and saying, thankfully, he's going back home to where he really belongs. And he was saying shame to the APC and all of that. I mean, it wasn't a surprise to anybody that he finally left the party. But that seems to be a pattern now. We're having, first of all, it was former Vice President Atiku who left the APC back to the PDP. We have Senator Dino Melaye. There's a lot of whispers about other people, of course, but who haven't openly done this. What is suddenly so attractive about the PDP?
Oh, well, in Nigeria of today, there are two basic political parties. Whether we like it or not, whether we believe it or not, there are two basic political parties, the APC and the PDP. And of course, there are some political parties that have what I call classical orientations and ideologies that are coming up. You can probably categorize them in the third tier of, the political system and what have you. And, you're talking about the SDPs of this world, and all that. They know that, yes, they have a base, but they are to leave that political party, I mean the PDP, to join the APC because they thought, yes, that would probably take us to the promised land or something and all that. And then they are to now join that new train as a den. But right now, you would not expect someone like Dino Melaye to keep, up with the APC. He would not continue to stay in the APC in the light of what has been happening to him and all that, and of course his political master, the Senate president. You want to expect that after the EFCC and every, all sort of stuff after them, they also want to re-strategize to ensure that, their stakes are taken care of. Particularly, not forgetting the fact that some people have been saying that the Senate president, also nurses some other ambitions and all that.
Of the APC and still seems to be, sort of in good terms with the leadership of the party, at least to the best of our knowledge. He hasn't necessarily, the leadership of the party has changed now. Okay. We have a new chairman of the APC. We haven't necessarily seen any reason to believe that he might be leaving. There's a lot of whispers, of course, about his intentions.
Exactly.
And the fact that he might also want to run for office or for higher office and all of that. But speaking about higher office now, I want to speak about Atiku now, and there are the opposition. For the better part of the last 3 years of the APC's presidency, or almost 4 years now, we've always talked about, we've talked about it on this show, even the fact that the PDP doesn't seem to have, put up enough of a good opposition now. Looking at the sort of presidential aspirants they have at the moment now, do you think the elections next year would actually be as interesting as most people think it would be? We have, I think, former Vice President Atiku has openly said he's going to run for office, I think, even if he hasn't said what party. He returned to the PDP, so we know he's going to be the PDP. Yes. Former governor of Kaduna State and former Senator Ahmed McCarthy has also come out. There's other names that have been thrown in the cards that we're not sure of. But looking at those two for now, people think it will most likely be the former Vice President. Is that a formidable fight, you think?
It will be really, really formidable. But
he's beaten in the primaries.
Well, believe me, 2019 is actually going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting, particularly because the two of them have fanatical followerships in the north. Vice President Atiku Abubakar, so some people have said, actually won the 2003 election for former President Olusegun Obasanjo. And you cannot take away the fact that he has the money to spend, and then he also has, even within the system of today, even within President Buhari's cabinet, the Minister for Women Affairs came out the other day to say, excuse me, the moment Atiku declares, I am actually going to support him, and I will resign my appointment as a minister.
She didn't lose her job.
And she didn't lose her job. So you need to put all of these things together, and then, nobody can take away the fact that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar is a powerful politician in Nigeria of today. And then he has his tentacles.
There's powerful politicians, but is it powerful enough? Because we've seen and heard about, sort of the cult following that Mr. President has in the North. We saw the numbers in the last election. They were unbelievable. Yes, maybe Vice President Atiku, you can say a portion of the Northeast to an extent would be his stronghold. But can he really wrest power from him in the North, from the 19 states in the North?
You see, the thing is this. What wins an election? We need to actually, identify what wins an election. The numbers. That's the truth. And then, believe me, the PDP, before the emergence of the APC, had a number of states, and they had powerful people who now decamped to the APC to win the election for the current president. The current president tried about 3 times, and he could not win that election, in spite of the fanatical followership that he had in the North, and that he still has, as a matter of fact. But when those other forces within the PDP now joined with, alliances and all that, and then they formed the APC, we all saw what happened. They shocked everybody. Now, if those guys are allowed to go back to their PDP, and then they now rally around one formidable, powerful politician, in the former vice president, who equally has the money to spend, I think it will be a very massive fight for the current president. And so that is where I think the APC needs to understand what is ahead of them, at this time, and then they need to really put themselves together and then talk to the big wigs in the party and all that, and see how they can resolve all these crises.
Very quickly now, before we go, very quickly now, I want to talk about the finance minister, Kemi Adeosun, whose scandal has broke out recently about the NYSC and the forgery and all of that. What expectations do you have from the president to deal with this? Very quickly.
Firstly, I like to hear from her. I'm very sure,
heard from her.
because yes, we have not heard from her. So I do not think we should judge based on what we have right now. But if this is actually true, then it is a very big slap. And then I expect that the president, would consult, his vice president and some other, the attorney general of the federation and all that, and take a very important decision that he needs to take. Because it is bad enough that we are facing all these troubles in the land, and it is worse off if we now have somebody not declaring properly what he has or what he does not have. I think it is bad enough. And so we need to now start doing the right things and ensure that we have the right, the round pegs in the round holes.
Yeah, I wonder how much investigation we'll have to go into, because suddenly the Senate is even being dragged into it about blackmail and all of that. But like you said, we haven't heard from her. But
exactly.
Do you expect the president to fire her, or do you expect her to resign?
Oh, well, I feel, yes, if she's found wanting, I expect her to resign. And if she is not resigning, of course, the president should be able to fire her. Yes.
All right. Well, we'll see how that unfolds. Hopefully she gets to speak up on this in the coming days. Thanks a lot for joining us, Wale Oshunde.